Hello Shello, and welcome back to another fabulous episode of Nellyville Reviews Drag Race Season 18, Episode 13, Karen's Gone Wild. Okay, look, audio only is available. Also, full video is available on YouTube. Okay, we've taken care of office business overhead stuff. Let's just jump right into it, and we're gonna talk about this a little out of order this week because this episode will go down in history for a many of reasons. And normally, we go from the top of the episode down to the bottom. We go chronological. We talk about it all. We dissect it all. I just want to get right to the punchline. Okay, so as we all know, unless you've been on the rock, Plain Jane. No, I'm sorry, not Plain Jane. Sorry, I've been watching House of Villains. Sorry, wrong show. Not Plain Jane. Jane Don't is gone. Let's just get right to the end. Jane Don't is gone. This was a huge upset for a lot of people. This was a shocker. It was the wind was knocked out of Jane. Now we're getting down to the wire, y'all. Somebody is about to get crowned. So obviously the wind is going to be knocked out of these girls at this point. I mean, it doesn't matter if you go home first or last, but the closer you get, the harder it is when you get eliminated. And last week Jane, she stumbled a little bit. She was almost in the bottom two, but she did not land in the bottom two. But this week she landed in the bottom two. Nene, did what needed to be done. It was a Lady Gaga song. And, it comes down to song choice and wheelhouse and what somebody can do. I think we'll talk about the lip sync. But first, I just want to focus on Jane Don't. Now, I know I sat up over here for several weeks now and say how much this girl's getting on my nerves. She's got on my nerves. She's like the main one that's kind of really been getting on my nerves, especially a few weeks ago. But I always said this is a front runner, and I think for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I'm like, this is probably going to be our winner. But I always say, you never know what's going to happen. And this was one of those times. This is, it's always an upset when this person goes home. Because, now we have 4 girls. We're down to 4, right? That 5th girl that goes home, that 6th girl that goes home, that, that top 6, that top 5 girl. It hurts because you're so close. You could taste it. But this one hurt especially, and it was shocking because of the track record. Jane Don't has set records. Okay? Jane Don't has been consistently in the top up until last week. Had 3 wins, 2 wins. One of the best track records of all time on the show. And then went home on a challenge, an improv challenge, where she should have thrived, but did not. And I think it's because she was bottom 3 last week, so she was in her head. She was already kind of in her head, which landed her in the bottom, aiding her getting in the bottom last week. Sometimes we just get in our own way. And look, even though I sat up here and I talk about, she gets on my nerves and stuff that she's done off the show and blah, blah, blah. I felt so sorry for her. Some people, when they get eliminated, it's always sad. This is my least favorite part of the show. When it's not fun watching someone's dreams get crushed. It's not fun watching the girls have the wind knocked out of them just, because it is, you've put so much time, effort, energy, emotion, money into this. And for a lot of queens, especially now, a lot of queens start drag just with the end goal to get on Drag Race and to win Drag Race. Some girls, the end goal is just, I want to get on there. I don't care what I rank. I just want to get on there, start, a bigger career, get a platform. I don't care if I go home first, last, in the middle. It doesn't matter. And then some girls, they start drag just to get on Drag Race and to win Drag Race. Now I don't know Jane's. I don't know if that's what this was for her, but she just had an amazing track record, and she was just one of those people that it was really, really hard to watch her get told sashay away. It was rough, and all the girls took it very hard. All the eliminations from here on out, it's going to be hard. We're at a top 4. It's going to hurt. One queen can win. Now the lip sync, we're just gonna go backwards. We're gonna jump around a little bit. Okay, so the lip sync, like I said, it was Nene and Jane. The song was, what was the song? Garden of Eden by Lady Gaga. So right away, you already knew it's probably gonna go to Nene, because Nene is more of a, you could just see Nene performing that type of song. Not that Jane couldn't, but you know, Nene is just more of a dancer. She's more acrobatic. She could do these flips. She could do these things. Now, I will say it was pretty neck and neck for most of it. Nene was giving it to you a little bit more. You could tell she's a super, Gaga fan. I'm going to tell you the specific point of when Nene won. It could have been a double save. I could see a world where it could have been a double save, and some might say it still probably could have just been a double save. So there was a part of the song where they both, just coincidentally, they both did this cartwheel. It was great. Every now and then you get these moments of synchronicity amongst the queens, and you get, it's not planned, but they end up doing something that it complements each other. They end up doing the same move. It happens at least once every season or every other season. You get these special moments. They both nailed a really, really nice cartwheel at a very, very nice part of the song. But Nene, when she did her cartwheel, did a cartwheel back handspring back tuck. When Nene hit that backflip and nailed it, that's what, so it like they both bust out in that cartwheel, and you were like, oh, this is gonna be a double save. This is good. And immediately Nene was like, bloop, bloop, bloop. Damn, she won it. I was like, yeah. And Jane fought. She tried to keep it. Just was not her song. And she had to go, and it was gaggy, and it was something. It was something. So yeah, the winner of this episode was Mikey. She won $5,000 in tickets to the Stop That Train movie, the first original Drag Race franchise movie that's coming out this summer. It has a bunch of queens from Drag Race. But it's not a movie about Drag Race. Look it up. It seems like it's going to be really good. I mean, I'm biased, but it seems like it's going to be really good. It seems like it's going to be funny. So I'm going to go catch the movie. Mikey winning, it didn't make sense to me. So what was the actual challenge this week? So the girls had to do Karen's Gone Wild. So they had to do an improv challenge with Rue, in a scene with Rue. A lot of pressure. Okay, they had different types of Karens that they could pick from. That's another thing. This episode about Karens, and the girls got to pick their parts. Nobody argued. Everybody was like, I want this one. I want that one. I want that one. You want that one? Okay. I mean, it went so smoothly, and the girls were like, should we pretend to fight? And now I watched the YouTube version of Mistress's review show. Patreon got the whole full thing. YouTube's a little edited. But Jane was reviewing this episode with Mistress and Lux Noir London. And Jane said that they did do some pretend fighting. They did like a little, but it got cut out of the episode. I guess production was like, But considering how the improv went in this episode, and y'all was supposed to be fake fighting, I can understand why it probably got cut. It was probably no good. So they picked their roles, and they had to pretend to be Karens, okay? So Juicy off rip was like, a Karen is a Karen. I'll be whoever, okay? So, all right. So Darlene chose to be the shoplifting Karen. Nene chose to be the HOA Karen. Mikey picked the traffic stop Karen. Jane picked the late for a flight Karen. Juicy picked the parking spot Karen. And like I said, there were no arguments. So while they're trying to get their characters together, trying to brainstorm some little jokes to, figure out what direction they want to take their Karens, Darlene reminds, Juicy is like, I think I'm going to do this and this and whatever. And Darlene's like, didn't you say that your friends told you that you like, once you get on Drag Race, you were going to be like the mean girl and whatever? We haven't really seen that. Why don't you channel what your friends thought you were going to be on the show and like put that into your Karen? And Juicy was like, you know what? That makes sense. I'm going to do that. The girls had walkthroughs with Rue. Rue looks Juicy right in the face, like, I'm most worried about you. I'm like, damn, Rue. Like, as if it ain't enough pressure. I'm over here trying to get my thoughts together. I know I'm finna be in the scene with you, and then you look at me and my eyeball in front of everybody telling me, you most worried about me? Anyways, so boom. Okay, so I forgot this part. Let's go back before we talk about how the girls actually did in the skits, the improv Karen skits, and the runways. Can we go back to the top of the episode where there was a mini challenge? Okay. The mini challenge this week was the puppet. So the girls had, dig in and pick a puppet. And it's just random. You close, you dig in, you pull out a puppet, and it's a puppet of each of the queens, right? This is a staple. They do it every day. You pick a puppet and you basically read the queen, the puppet that you picked, right? Never in the history of Drag Race has everyone done so awful in this challenge. And I think the thing that most got on my nerves about it, like some of them, like they were trying, like it just was, but I think collectively, I think what really annoyed me was everybody just gave up. Like, they would say things and the jokes weren't landing and it wasn't funny, or, they said a couple of really funny jokes with their puppet and then they just kind of ran out of steam, ran out of material. And everybody just laughing it off like, like, you know how, like, you're in the classroom and maybe you have like a group project or somebody has to present or something. You have those kids who are like too cool to actually act like they're trying. So everything's funny and like they try to laugh it off. Like, y'all know what I'm saying? That's what got on my nerves, because what do you mean you're here to win this crown and you're laughing like shit is a game? This is not, it is a game, but it's not. And I felt like it was kind of disrespectful, because keep trying. I would have been okay if everybody sucked, but everybody stuck in character and pushed through and carried on. All this he had like, oh my gosh, like it's real bad, right? Like, well, God, that's like, what are you doing? And you could see Rue was like slowly getting disappointed more and more after every queen that went. Like, nobody was like really trying. Like, take it seriously. Anyways, it was so bad that no one ended up winning the mini challenge, and Rue actually named the crew, the cameramen and women, the producers, as the winners and gifted them the $2,500 and had them split it amongst them. This has never happened before. Everybody has not bombed a mini challenge so bad that Rue didn't even pick a win, didn't give the money, gave the money to the crew. And that was the mini challenge was a improv challenge that was supposed to warm y'all up for the maxi challenge, which was even more of an improv challenge. Oh, Lord have mercy. So anyway, so move on. So we did Showtime. So Darlene went up first. No. Darlene was not first. Juicy was first. I felt like Juicy did a great job. Juicy can't do a lot of things, but apparently improv is her thing. Juicy did good in the RDR live challenge. Juicy did good. And what was the other improv challenge? One is damn mini challenge. But Juicy's got some chops. Now, does she kind of play this same kind of similar character? Yes, but it's a character that she does well, and she executes, and she commits to the bit. When Juicy flipped over that rail, that was funny. She did good. Darlene was very solid. She was funny. I had some hee-hee-ha-has. There was some good chemistry with Rue. I was not mad at that performance. Mikey, I actually agree with her win. I know it's been a couple of wins that she's had, and I'm like, how the hell did she win? She was really good, and I feel like Mikey was the most caring. Most of the girls were good, but as far as being a Karen and capturing those little nuances that really make someone a Karen, Mikey did that. My favorite part is when she got pulled over and she just cracked the window this much, and she was like, huh, what you say? I can't hear you. And then when she's trying to roll the window out, open the door, the trunk is popping up. Like, there was little things that Mikey did. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll give it to you. Jane, I think, was trying to be too scripted. This is an improv challenge. It just needed to be, it needed to be pushed. It needed to be pushed. It was getting there, but it never arrived. Nene was safe to me. The energy was up. There wasn't, she kind of got stuck in this thing, just like Juicy kind of got stuck in this one little part of the bit. But at least I could say Nene, while she kind of missed some opportunities, like Jane missed some opportunities, Bruce set them up for some jokes, Nene was committed. She was giving full energy. And really, Nene's downfall was she came in too hot, and there was really nowhere to go. Right? So, anyways, so we already talked about Elimination Day. Let me see. Mikey is nervous, but I don't think she had anything to worry about. Right? They didn't get to see each other's things. They watched it in real time with us. They had no idea what they saw. They filmed 10 minutes each. Their scenes got cut down to 2 minutes, and they didn't even get to see those 2 minutes. So while they're standing up there getting critiqued, they don't even know what they're getting critiqued on. They don't know what parts the judges and them saw, but whatever. Rue, looking out here look pretty. We have Michelle, Visage, Maddie, and Julian Nicholson are our judges this week. The runway category was whack. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to say it was whack, but let me change that. I don't think the runway category was whack. I think that whatever the brief was not well written. Because the category is wholesome to folsome. You already lost me. Come find me. SOS. Life alert. Someone help me. I was like, okay. Nobody did it for me. Maybe this was earlier on, but this being a top 5 runway, we'll go through it really quick. I'm going to be so honest with y'all. And I'm only going to show the first part of the outfit. Every girl did a reveal, and they all revealed to some sort of either very revealing or like lingerie. Like, I could show it. I don't want to show it on here on this channel. It's not bad or nothing. But if you want to see the reveal outfit, if you haven't seen it, look it up. I'm sure y'all seen this. But pretty much all, nothing stood out to me. Everything was very like What are you wearing? What is this? What are we wearing? Juicy, baby, I don't know. And who styled this wig for you? I don't know. What she had on underneath was a little bit better, but it didn't really fit that well. Darlene, it was okay, but where she lost me was, why do you have boy bod? Where are the, y'all gotta start putting boobs on. Y'all just gotta start putting boobs on. I'm so sorry. Like, and then I don't know. I just didn't understand this runway. Then, Mikey I love the wig. I love that the hair made petals, and she probably had my favorite outer look, but it still wasn't nothing. Then the underneath, where are your boobs? Like, oh Lord. And then Jane came out like an extra from Hocus Pocus. What the hell was she wearing? The underneath was cute, but the breastplate didn't match her skin. I was like, y'all, I'm struggling. Nene, this was a great concept. You got Lady Liberty, and then the underneath, to me, I like better. I didn't have too much of an issue with this one. I just don't understand what. Oh Lord, have mercy. As you can see, it all needed to be reworked. So, anyways, and then we go on to Untucked. When Darlene started crying, gosh, it was sad. It was just, and then Jane broke down crying. And then Mikey tried to lighten up the mood, but it was just too heavy. They're bonding. They're getting to the end, and yeah, it's just at the unemotional part of the show. But back to Jane being gone, like it is an upset even for somebody like, I really wasn't gunning for her like that, but the last time that we've seen somebody with this type of track record go home was Ben Delacreme on All Stars. What was it? All Stars 3 or All Stars 4, whichever one Trixie won. That was when Ben Delacreme went home on that All Stars, because Ben was just knocking it out. Not everybody. I mean, but the difference is Ben wrote her name on the lipstick to go home. She sent herself home. So it's a little different, but that's the last time. How long ago was that? That's the last time that I can think of that somebody had a crazy record-breaking track record and then went home. Oh Lord. Anyways, and then Untucked, Juicy's trying to take a selfie with the Polaroid camera, and it's just, and then the way the lighting was, I don't know. It's just a really nice, beautiful selfie of Juicy, and then you see these dark figures in the back because they didn't get no light, and it was very funny. It was cute. But anyways, that's all I have to say. Jane, honey, when I saw you do the review with Mistress, I was glad to see you on there. Mistress is such a sweet. Mistress knew what she was doing, giving her like a moment to come. Mistress, people like, oh, she's so messy. Mistress got a big heart, and she was trying to make sure her girl was okay. And like, I don't know. I'll talk about that later. But Jane, on their review, I'm glad to see you seem like you're well with it. And I hope Nene is okay, because Nene did what needed to be done to stay. But I know these fans are so rude and nasty, and I hope that the fans are not attacking Nene too much, being like, Jane should have stayed, you didn't deserve it. I haven't seen anybody doing that, but I know Drag Race fans, and when it gets down to this close and people's faves start going home, the fans get very vicious. It's very sports coded. So yeah, here we are. Somebody had a theory that they're going to change their mind and bring Jane back. I don't know, but I guess for right, it's anybody's game. I'm not even going to pick a win. Who do I want to win? I guess Nene, Darlene. I guess Darlene. I think Nene will be a good reigning queen right now. Mikey's probably going to be the one to win. I feel like if Mikey wins, I feel like she's going to be like a willow pill and do one of those, like, win the crown and then immediately, like, disappear and be like, oh, I just need to take a break. Like, I don't, or it's going to go to her head or something. I don't know. I think Nene will be a good reigning queen. It seems like she's going to be, I think we'll be able to handle it really, really well and everything. Juicy, if I think Juicy will have a good reign, but I think Juicy needs to go in the oven just a little bit longer. But any of these girls, if they got it, honestly, it's not anybody left that I would be mad about. I would be okay if Nene won, if Mikey got it, if Darlene got it, if Juicy. I'm perfectly fine with this top 4. I'm okay with it. So we will see. That's all that I have to say about this. Baby, it was a doozy of an episode. Let me know what you think about all that drama, and I will catch you in the next episode. Whoa. Okay, bye.